So today I'm going to talk to you about Sanctuary, which is an awesome series, and I will specifically recommend Volume 1. So Sanctuary is a series by Sho Fumimura, and it was illustrated by Ryoichi Ikegami. This is very much an 80s Yakuza type story, it's very much colored by this world of 80s Japan that you might be familiar with if you like old school Yakuza movies, or maybe recently you played Yakuza 0 on the PS4 or Xbox One, which is a fantastic game. So I guess there's a few things that you can expect from Sanctuary. First of all, you're going to get the real deal Yakuza tropes that are all about honor, but also about being a piece of dirt. And you're also going to get these like schoolyard mentalities of like being nothing and aspiring to be something in this world. You're also going to get this tension between people who are just trying to get by on their fists and how much they hate these people who are getting ahead in the Yakuza world, who are getting ahead with their smarts. So you're seeing the shift from 70s organized Japanese crime to 90s organized crime, and there's a lot of tensions going on everywhere. I think that a great comparison would be the Outrage trilogy by Takeshi Beat Kitano. Like you're going to get politicians that are sleazy, that are trying to get by with the Yakuza. You're going to have Yakuza who are trying to get compromat or blackmail on the politicians. The story itself is more than just a Yakuza story. So the premise is that you have these two best friends, and they have had a very rough childhood, and the thing that they care about most is their friendship. And what they are trying to do is they're trying to figure out a way for them to create their sanctuary, that is to say, build a world where their friendship can exist intact without the world tearing them to pieces. And so they flip a coin, okay? Because they realize that the way that the world works is that it's essentially a thing that is run by old men. And they realize that time is very short and that they don't have much time in life to figure out how to transform the world into their own personal sanctuary. So what they realize is that they need somebody to become the champion of the world of light and somebody to become champion of the world of darkness. So they flip a coin to see who is going to become the total straight edge man who will who will one day lead Japan as prime minister is the goal. Okay, and then you have this and the other friend, the one who loses the coin tail, the coin toss, is going to become the ultimate leader of the shadow Yakuza world. And so that's what they're aspiring to do. So you alternate between these two characters as one tries to become the highest legitimate figure in Japan, and the person who's trying to become the most powerful illegitimate leader in Japan, and how they help each other in overcoming their various struggles. And so they have the ideal partnership. And so it's incredible to see all this pan out. There's something really cool about 1980s Japan that is really unique, and I think it's a few things. So you have the bubble economy. So everybody's making a ton of money, everybody's spending a ton of money, so you have this extreme opulence. In a lot of ways, I think that you can compare 1980s Japan to what the 1920s were for like F. Scott Fitzgerald, and like that kind of the Great Gatsby kind of glamour of it, especially when you think from the Japanese perspective, because so post-war you have this economic miracle. To give you an idea, there was this really big bestseller that came out, and it was called Japan is Number One, and this was a very big academic work. And I think that there was this real attitude that Japan was going to become the great economic power. Like everybody, everything that everybody says about China now, people were saying that about Japan in the 80s. And you can see that, like, for example, in the Bruce Willis movie where he's stuck in a tower, which can't believe that I've forgotten, Die Hard. You know, there's that Japanese corporation. The guy who wrote Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton, he wrote a book that was basically about Japan taking over the United States through business. So that just gives you an idea of the of how, like, opulent Japanese society kind of had the atmosphere of. I think that another thing that's exciting about the 80s in Japan, so is that feeling of opportunity. So with Sanctuary, you have these guys who think that anything's possible, okay? And you don't have this really anymore because since the bubble popped, there's a general kind of feeling of cynicism, and that kind of feeling of opportunity, like take over the world, that's possible. It's not really a thing anymore. But to be honest, I think that what people really like about 80s Japan is the aesthetic of it. Maybe there's a great commercial. If you look, you can find all of the Coca-Cola commercials from Japan in the 1980s. There was this campaign, and it was called "I Feel Coke." And okay, so it's the hairstyles, the clothing, it's just, there's everything about it. It's just such, if you it's just such, if you heard the song Plastic Love, which is like always showing up in my related videos on YouTube. If you've listened to Plastic Love, that song feels exactly how Japanese society looks from this time, where like people are like, they've got the pearl earrings, they've got the shoulder pad, suit dresses, they've got the big giant cell phones, everybody's like drinking and having good time, like all the salary men are drinking until the late hours. It's a very unique like period of history. So I think that especially with it, when you throw in the element of Yakuza, you have a really great genre. Sanctuary is a real zeitgeist of 80s Yakuza stories. It's really all about the atmosphere. Like, it's a fun story, it's a cool thriller type story, it's a cool political story, but what is just, I really love the atmosphere of it. So if you like that atmosphere of 1980s Japan and you want a good Yakuza story, I strongly recommend Sanctuary. Anyway, so this is the first video that I've made in a while. I'm going to be doing a few more today. I am still making my way through the Witcher series. I got a little burnt out for a period of time. I'll explain more about it later, but I'm going to finish. I'm going to chug all the way through. I'm going to start talking a little bit more about my manga recommendations. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to reading your comments. I think that that's the best thing about making these videos, is that there's so many people, and they're always from places, especially there's a lot of people from Poland who really like my videos, which I really like. It's exciting to read the comments and to talk to people and get their book recommendations. So I think please comment on the videos and let me know your thoughts. I really like getting recommendations, and I really like hearing people's reactions, and I really think that it is great to see when people are from places that are very far away from where I live, hearing like where they're from. I think that it would be really cool if you could introduce me to things from your country and just put a spotlight out there. Like there was a guy from Poland who talked about some great Polish fantasy that might be available in English that I'm going to check out. And there was somebody from Russia who gave me some great recommendations as well. So I look forward to seeing what everybody has to say. Have a great day.